Only 20 minutes to cover 220 meters. With no safety ropes, Oleg Aksyonov, known as Dexter on the internet, storms a radio station in Elektrostal, a city not far from Moscow.
Okay, here we go.
He is most likely to establish a new record. Two friends of Oleg follow him with no safety ropes either. They're Yevgeny Basilyaev, whose online name is Basik, and Azat, the youngest of the three. Oleg Aksyonov conquers the summit even quicker than he expected, in just 15 minutes. They've never trained as professional rescuers. They've never even completed a course for urban climbers. Dexter, Basik and Azat are extreme sportsmen, explorers of urban roofs. This is their third ascent. There at the top, they took the footage which made the British Daily Mail call them crazy Russians. A 5-minute video made them true internet celebrities. They received more than 1 million views over the first week alone.
I don't think there's anything a person cannot do. Those who can't do something may think it is impossible. We simply love it. We develop our abilities, and I adjust myself to extreme situations so that I can perform these acts. I always test myself in terms of what I am capable of.
All three live in towns close to Moscow. Dexter lives in Lyubotsy, Azat in Elektrostal, and Basik has to travel from Sholkovo 3. Sholkovo is a small town near Moscow without much to do. Young people spend their free time here at sports bars or in the yards of apartment blocks. They discuss the latest news while sipping their drinks. As for Yevgeny Basilyaev, he'd rather do urban extreme sports like parkour or urban climbing.
Oh, hello, finally. How are you? Why didn't you call me?
Yeah, I called.
It was me that called you. I've been worrying.
Vera, Yevgeny's mother, knows about her son's extreme hobby. She knows he just climbed the radio station tower, but she can't ban him from taking risks.
I hear what he says, but I can understand him only when I fully realize what he says and accept it. I haven't accepted it, and I can't understand it. I cannot stand in his shoes.
Vera is divorced and the family's only breadwinner. She works at a local hospital, 7 days on, 7 off. There's no one to look after her children. She says that doing extreme sports is better than hanging around with the wrong crowd, drinking and taking drugs.
If you talk about this small village, there's absolutely nothing here at all. There are no places to go and nothing to do, so thank God he has found his way, and this is a good way. That's why I feel okay about my son, and about his life too.
Yevgeny shows his mother their best-known video with their stunts at height. He was honest with his mother about what he was doing and called her from the site. However, she only sees how high and how dangerous it was now.
Awful. It's just awful. Look, it's awful. Just a nightmare.
It's as easy as ABC. He can squat on one leg 130 times.
Yeah, is it easy when the wind is knocking you down? The wind is knocking you down.
The wind is balancing us. The balance is good. It's no problem. It's easy.
You see, I try to say something to him and he always fights me.
Oh, don't worry, Mom.
The video starts with a warning. Do not try to repeat these stunts. You're putting your life at risk. However, just a few weeks later, another group without any physical training decide to repeat the feat of Dexter, Basik and Azat at the same tower.
Kirill, why on earth do you want to do it? Kirill!
Imagine what level of adrenaline he's got right now.
He's standing up.
I want to have your babies, Alexei.
We are now very high above the ground, and he does not care at all.
Such videos on the web have been called provocative. Urban climbers compete with each other to try to take on more dangerous ascents, to beat each other's videos for numbers of views.
Hello, we're going to climb this tower. Vadim and Lev have joined me. Hi, we've climbed very, very high. And here's Vadim.
Get me the f off this thing!
Hi again. We did it. Look at Vadim. This is the very top of the tower of the thermal power station. It's the highest point. Look how high we've climbed. It's awesome. Our adrenaline is surging.
This is a video from Udmurtia. And this is Volkonskaya thermal power station in Leningrad region. Several climbers somehow made it to the top of the concrete smokestack.
1, 2, 3!
Famous Moscow climbers Vitaly Raskalov and Kirill Shutin have traveled 8,000 kilometers expressly to conquer the highest cable-stayed bridge in Russia. When they were finally caught by the police, they were at first mistaken for terrorists.
Here is the bridge to Rusский Island, 350 meters high. It is one of the tallest structures in Russia. It is insanely high. There is nothing higher than this bridge.
Just conquering heights is not enough for them anymore. They want to climb at heightened security locations where no one but they can get. This is Moscow City, a complex of high-rise buildings. They managed to bypass the security guards and made their way up to a construction crane.
We climbed on the crane boom. It was dawn, 6 in the morning. We were climbing this boom. Somebody roasted popcorn in the crane booth. There was a microwave oven and a kettle there. So we had some tea, ate some instant noodles. It was like kind of a picnic up on the roof.
When Vitaly and Kirill gave their videos to the construction company as evidence of the poor security, they were offered jobs. Now they take bird's-eye panorama pictures of Moscow they use to advertise Moscow City.
I like going to new facilities where I have to find a way to get by the security guards, to see where the closed-circuit televisions are, how the alarm works, and the most exciting part of all is when you manage to make your way in, they see you, but then you run away, and they don't catch you. That's the coolest part.
Psychologist Alexander Tesla's office is also located inside a Moscow skyscraper. He's been studying youth trends for some time. According to Tesla, extreme sports, and particularly urban climbing, is a hobby of young people from the outskirts. They commonly come from low-income families. Sports clubs are expensive, and conquering city heights is often the only way for these young people to assert themselves.
They want adrenaline. They want people to talk about them. They want to be seen on YouTube. And people are ready to do anything for this, both boys and girls, because their life is boring and social mobility is poor in Russia.
Russian urban climbers hit the headlines after this video. No one had known Moscow student Artyom Pernyazov until he climbed the steeple of one of Stalin's skyscrapers and filmed a video that he then called Reach for the Stars. The video horrified its viewers. With no safety ropes, he climbed up the steeple and reached the star on it, located 175 meters above the ground.
Yeah! The red gates are open!
He later made an even more extreme video in winter when he reached for another star at the famous Kotelnicheskaya embankment building. And for climbers, these are the most prestigious buildings in terms of their height, complexity and security. Artyom has reached 5 of the 7 stars. After World War II, Stalin ordered 7 high-rise buildings with spires and stars as a symbol of the country's victory. Today, they are one of the main symbols of Moscow. Urban climbers also conquered Moscow's highest spire on top of the state university. Their photo report posted on the web showed that the risk was worth it. Looking at the world from the top has become a fashionable trend. Moscow is seeing a high-rise building boom, with costs per square metre reaching 20,000 euros. High-altitude restaurants are being opened. Alisa Krylova, Mrs. World 2011, also loves height and extreme sports. She eats only in elite high-rise restaurants. And she also stages photo shoots here and then posts them on her website. She is an extreme driving instructor. She's bungee jumped and skydived. However, she says that urban climbing is beyond her. Quite recently, several people died after they fell down from tall buildings.
When someone browses the internet and sees someone else jumping from rooftops, he can't but feel that they're cool and famous. They get so many views. Of course he wants to repeat this stunt because it seems to be a real feat for him since he has nothing better to do. But this is not right. Absolutely not. You should try to find yourself some other way.
Bungee jumping, a dream for any extreme sports lover. For a student of a pedagogical institute, Marina Bezrukova, this is her 32nd jump. That's how she tries to fight her fear of heights.
I do all this stuff for the sake of new experiences. When a person overcomes his fear, he crosses the line that seemed to be impossible to cross, and he learns something new about himself. He discovers the qualities in himself he was unaware of.
Bungee jumping from a tower helped her fulfill her dream, to walk on a ledge 31 floors up. She had an eye on this skyscraper long ago, but only recently found the strength to take her first step. The video became an instant internet hit. Western newspapers wrote about her. Here she is, a real Russian girl, a mixture of sexuality and recklessness.
Amazing! Yeah! I did what I wanted to do for so long, what I dreamed of, and those were true emotions that came from my heart, this drive, this happiness, which have made so many people like this video.
Marina is not going to climb professionally. She realizes the risk is too high. She was lucky first time. However, she believes luck never lasts forever. Dexter, Bazik and Azat think that doing such stunts without special training means taking unnecessary risks. Almost every day, they work out at street playgrounds. Dexter is 24, Bazik is 22, and Azat is only 16. He still goes to school. He's graduating this year. Dexter is studying to be both a lawyer and a sports physiotherapist. He isn't doing extreme sports for the sake of popularity. He says he wants to put himself to the test, not only physically, but also psychologically.
The height doesn't really matter. If I were 200 meters above the ground, I would be even more careful. If I feel that I can do it, if I feel that I am standing firmly, then it's okay. I can even squat on one leg.
He denies responsibility for those who may watch this video and decide to try and repeat it. If anyone falls, he says he's not going to feel guilty.
If one is smart, they will not attempt these things unless they thoroughly prepare, just like us, make all the calculations before they do it.
Azat's parents, the youngest of the three, also support their son's passion. His father is an aircraft designer. He believes that a real man must know how to overcome fear, including a fear of heights. They try not to think about the tragedy that might happen.
Even Icarus had wings. Everyone thought that he was a fool. But today we have airplanes, we can fly. I believe that you have to have a sense of adventure in life, in every aspect. It makes life more interesting.
However, for true urban climbers, the process of conquering a height is more important than the result.
It's going to be a great sunset this evening.
Shutin and his friends go to the roof of a Moscow apartment block. The door to the attic is closed. There is an impressive lock hanging on it.
Now I'm going to ask you to turn the camera off so you can't see the teleportation process.
Walking on the rooftops is just a petty crime, but breaking locks entails criminal liability. However, climbers always say that it was not them who broke the lock, but someone before them. Taking the risk of running into trouble, they go to the roof to watch the sunset. Climbing can also mean romance. Shutin shows the views of Moscow to his girlfriend, Ksenia. She saw his videos on the internet and realized she would never find a braver guy. He tells her how they climbed the spire of a protected building.
It's hard to do it sober, because it's an office building with a serious company inside that has a $40 billion turnover. Everybody saw the door, but no one was eager to open it, because there was a corporation inside with a $40 billion turnover, and security is going to be very tight.
Urban climbing came to Moscow from St. Petersburg, which boasts the most romantic rooftops in Russia. There are even guided tours on the roofs. Climber Ilya has been earning his living this way for 5 years now. However, they became so successful, local residents turned against them.
Are you guys gonna climb the roof?
I'm going to call the police.
I'm gonna call the district police officer.
No. We're definitely going to call the police.
And we'll wait for them to arrive. And we'll show you. I know all the attics here. I have keys to all the attics.
Get out.
This happens sometimes.
Ilya and his guests have to find alternative routes. Trying to find a way to the roof, they have to walk across nearby yards. They manage to find a new route. About a dozen people climb into the attic, trying to move as quietly as possible. This kind of secrecy only adds more adrenaline and fuels the interest in roof tours.
Be quiet.
Here it is, the cherished roof. Everyone pays Ilya 500 rubles, or $17.
Here we have a mosque. There you can see the Peter and Paul Fortress. Among the most interesting sights are the Admiralty, the Winter Palace, then St. Isaac's Cathedral, and the Church of the Saviour on Spilt Blood. These roof tours have become a small business of mine. Sometimes, maybe once every 6 months, 100 or 150 people get onto a roof, but it's only possible on flat ones, not like this one.
For me, going to the roof is a sacred experience. Here I can feel freer. Here I can find my loneliness. It's the way it should be. You can never experience it on the ground. This is the place closest to the sky.
One of the most popular routes is the roof of the Dom Knigi bookstore. It offers a panoramic view of the northern capital. However, one of the residents of a neighbouring house has declared war on the tour groups.
Damn, they've seen us. There's a gun. Fuck. Oh my god, there's a gun. Oh my god, he fired a shot.
Climbers call this girl simply Nancy. She was also once seized by a roof climbing passion. However, one of her close friends fell from a roof and died. For months, she could not bring herself to climb again.
Yes, I had pricks of consciousness, because it was me who showed him that roof. He was drunk, he climbed it in bad weather and in a bad mood. He simply failed to estimate properly what he was capable of. Probably he even did it on purpose, because he had a difficult period in his life. I felt bad for 6 months. I wanted to call him and realize that he was not there anymore.
But, as Nancy confesses, it was St. Petersburg with its roofs that has cured her. She feels calm here. Without thinking twice, one day she packed her bags and moved to St. Petersburg. She's renting out an old apartment under the roof, with a view of the courtyard below.
We came here 5 days ago, and the first thing we did was the following. We broke the lock and climbed this roof to enjoy the view.
Hello.
Привет, проходите.
Nancy has always been fond of photography. Now she stages photo shoots herself, both for her friends who do climbing and for those who don't. She takes pictures at weddings, at dawn and at sunset, and pictures of roofs, of course. She says there are no such roofs anywhere else. Roofs mean incredibly beautiful sunsets, an extremely beautiful city below, and freedom from earthly fuss, simply love. There is nothing extraordinary about urban climber weddings anymore.
Well, as they say, we wish you happiness, health, and as many kids as possible.
Natalia and Mikhail met each other on this roof. They watched many sunsets and sunrises together before finally getting married.
Is the light on?
No. Oh, yes.
Let's go then.
Students Anna Mudrak and Ilya Shumsky can boast an even more romantic ascent.
Be careful, sit down.
To the Peter the Great statue by Zurab Tsereteli in Moscow. They touched the flag at the very top, 100 meters up. They say this is their most romantic trip ever.
Peter the Great is open, and it's great.
Today there are several hundred climbers in Russia doing it on a permanent basis, climbing more and more dangerous heights every time. They have their own celebrities, their own parties, groups in social networks, and their own websites. They know each other, and even if they've never met in person, they will definitely recognize one another, and they meet for the first time as if they have known each other for many years. This summer, Ilya gave his sweetheart another romantic present, a trip to St. Petersburg to the Scarlet Sails firework festival. This was Anna's first visit to the city, which became a place of love for them. Anna saw a St. Petersburg many residents have never seen.
The roofs of St. Petersburg are not like Moscow roofs. Their construction is so intricate and interesting. Urban climbing in St. Petersburg gives you absolutely different sensations.
Down the River Neva embankment, a crowd of people try to see a glimpse of the fireworks show, while the climbers stand up on the roof and hug each other, taking no notice of the rain and cold. It seems that the fireworks were meant just for them. Many climbers have died. They thought that they could play with death easily and outwit it. This group try not to think about it. The whole world is at their feet now, and they are happy.